So now let's talk about some myths about entrepreneurs. The first myth is that entrepreneurs are born and they're not made. Many studies, however, show you that no one really is a born entrepreneur. There may be some things about one's personality or how you interact. We'll talk about that in a minute. Makes you more likely to be an entrepreneur. But many people have the potential to learn the skills to be an entrepreneur and have the desire or build that desire to to be an entrepreneur. There's the environment, how you grew up. There's individual experiences of building things, personal choices one might make along the way. There are some common traits, as I mentioned, about entrepreneurs. They're not huge risk takers. We'll talk more about that, but they're more moderate risk takers. They're comfortable with ambiguity. They can communicate well. They can promote their ideas. They can bring resources together. They build networks. Creative. They proactive. They start things themselves. They're good with dealing with failure and sort of rising and up again and trying to push forward through that in a tenacious way. They tend to be motivated to achieve things, to get things done. They're self confident, decisive. These are things that you can actually build in your own life just by being open to learning new things and moving forward. Entrepreneurs tend to have a lot of energy and a strong work ethic. They want to work and get things done, and they can stay focused even when they have obstacles that are pushing them or causing them that some other people might give up, but they just keep pushing forward. So these are the sorts of things about entrepreneurs that people who study them have found in common, but they're not something that goes all the way back to how you're born. They're things that you can learn. A second myth is that entrepreneurs are essentially gamblers, huge risk takers. But actually, they're not. They're moderate risk takers or they manage through risk. They're comfortable with ambiguity. That is, they are comfortable with having to make things work. It's not clear what to do, and you could figure out how to do it as you go, problem solving type of things. They're used to less structure. They also tend to be people that really want excellence. They're pushing for something that works. They want to achieve something. They don't want to sort of just let things go, but they want to actually make something happen. They want to push to that level of taking something and making it work, and that sometimes is equated with being risk taking. But actually, what they're actually doing is dealing with situations that are uncertain and making them more predictable. A third myth is that entrepreneurs are about money. Well, actually, this is not really true. Of course, they always think about getting money because, first of all, they need money to build their business. And also, it's nice to get it and build it for your family and the like. Um, but in fact, some entrepreneurs feel that it can be a distraction. If you're just worrying about building the money, then sometimes you'll make a short term decision, which is not best for the enterprise in the long term. Classic example of this is Amazon for years didn't make profits because it was investing in so many projects going forward. Another myth about entrepreneurs is that they're young, that they're basically under 30, and that's where entrepreneurship sits. You got to be young and energetic. Well, although having all the energy is necessary for all the work that's involved, there's also a sense that there needs to be some experience, knowledge about particular areas within the economy in order for you to be able to start a successful business. The general change there, or the one exception there, is among technology firms where new technology is adopted by young people. And so oftentimes young people actually see opportunities much more easily or quickly than older people who have not grown up with certain technologies. But by and large, there's a need for experience in the area you're starting the business, which if it's new tech, sometimes that's young people. But if it's in other kinds of business like energy or anything like that, which requires years of experience in the business to identify in the industry, to identify specific opportunities, then oftentimes you need to be a little bit older. Reputation, track record, oftentimes investors look for those kinds of things to back as opposed to just younger and energetic folks. all in all, there's a pretty even divide among the different age groups in terms of starting businesses. As you can see here, across all age groups, there's opportunities to start businesses. In fact, if you really look at it, it's pretty flat from 20 to 34, 35 to 44. All these various areas, you have relatively similar numbers of people that join or start businesses in these age groups. It's a balance between understanding what people need, what the changes are, what needs to happen, what the trends are, and having experience in that area, which is unique and allows you to find new opportunities and new ways to start a business. The final myth we'll talk about is that entrepreneurs love the spotlight. There are certainly examples of this. You see Mark Zuckerberg on television and Elon Musk, others like that. But there's also a lot of entrepreneurs that just stay behind the scenes. You don't really know who invented who started DirecTV or Netflix, even LinkedIn, those kinds of companies. You don't really know that those people. They're not out there all the time. Oftentimes, entrepreneurs become important or celebrities just because they're so successful. But that doesn't mean people necessarily seek it out. Some do because it helps them with their companies, but others don't. That's not a requirement for being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur starts a business, grows a business, and succeeds in a marketplace. Sometimes that includes becoming a celebrity. Other times, people promote the business and therefore they use their name to push it forward. But that is not really something that characterizes an entrepreneurial personality, if you will.